players, welcome back to the GSL Code S round of 32. We just had one of the craziest games I have ever seen or casted between Parting and Myungshik. Myungshik gets out of the group in first place.
Yeah, it does not get crazier than that, Valdez. A base trade from Proxy 1 gates is just absolutely insane. And now we're going to switch gears, go into the Zerg games, both these Zergs losing in their round 1 matches. So they face each other in the loser brackets. Ragnarok and Dark.
It's going to be pretty interesting going to this one. Ragnarok saying that his ZVT, or rather ZVP, he was very confident in against Parting, saying that Parting wouldn't get close to him. Parting stomped him pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like, he got really close to him.
Game 1,
he got on top of him.
He got it, well, slow down for a second, Valdez. Game 1, Ragnarok did look pretty solid, you know, to a point. He made some bad judgment calls on his army, and it kind of got him a little too far behind before the Broodlords got out. He didn't really have enough to buff for the Broodlords, and eventually he did die to that Mass Blink Stalker all in from Parting. But it's going to be a different matchup now, a much more volatile matchup, a very dangerous matchup. Both these players are very good at. Dark as well, you know, obviously going down to Myungshik in a bit of an upset. Not finding much luck in ZVP recently, that's for sure.
Yeah, his only win against Myungshik was with the Proxy Hatch build on Expedition Loss. Something we've been seeing more often in ZVP, especially on that map.
Yep, and look at these maps. Iron Fortress, King Sejong Station, and Overgrowth. Iron Fortress is going to be the first map here. It's going to make for a pretty interesting opening ZVZ. Yeah. You know, a 4-player map, a nice big map like this. A lot of things can happen, cheeses can happen, or you can just see a really big late game sort of ZVZ that normally we wouldn't get to enjoy.
That would be a lot of fun. I hope we get to see that, especially between these two players. Ragnarok trying to prove his worth, Dark trying to get out of the losers match. I saw Dark in between when I was going to the bathroom. He looks a bit stressed, but also very focused.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of pressure being part of SKT1. Obviously, you kind of have to perform. You got to do well in these tournaments.
Yeah, and think about their two mindsets. Even if they get out of the losers match, they have to play Parting in a ZVP best of 3. Not looking good for either of these players, but let's see what happens in this matchup between the two Zergs, Dark and Ragnarok. Down here in the bottom right in the red, one of our Zerg players here, he is
SK Telecom T1 Dark.
Things just got very serious for these Zergs. Down here in the bottom left, we have the rising star.
CJN2's Ragnarok.
Or I like to think so. We'll find out after this game. I'll get back to you. It's been around a while. Very talented player. I'm always very inspired when I see him play. Once upon a time, last year, he did actually give me about 200 replays to watch.
Whoa.
I love him for that. And
whoa.
Yeah, they were some fantastic games. He's actually like always really up there in the ladder, like top 20 Zerg player in the ladder. Like he's one of those beasts that are up there that just don't find the traction in these singular tournaments or in Pro League even.
Yeah. We just need to give him some time, you know? I want to see where Ragnarok is specifically in like even 3 to 4 months. Let's see how much better he can get, because that's the real question to me.
Gonna hide. I think they were in a shot last game, weren't they?
Maybe.
Or earlier tonight.
Maybe.
The cameraman wants to just get a look at them, but they keep hiding.
Yeah. This time hiding with their phones.
Yeah. New strategy. New meta. Hatch first for both players. Not a surprise on a map this big. A huge rush distance.
Yeah. Look at this. 2014.
Whoa.
MSI beat it. Ragnarok wins 2-1 over Dark.
Damn.
I don't think that result is...
No, that's in the back of Dark's mind, man. It's been in the back of his mind for the last year.
He just couldn't get it out
of his head. Finally, I get my chance for revenge.
Yeah.
MSI beat it. It's one of those bigger ones. No. I can't remember that tournament. Could have been an online qualifier, or maybe even an online tournament. I can't remember what they did.
So like around a 16.
Interesting.
Not so sure. Well, both these players, they should know where they are, because Dark sees the Overlord coming from the right, or rather Ragnarok sees the Overlord coming from the right side, and Ragnarok, I believe, I'm like confusing myself here.
You are. Dark is red.
Yeah, Ragnarok saw the Overlord, so he knows that Dark is in the bottom right, and
Sure.
Dark saw the base of Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So they know where they are.
they know where Dark, with a huge kind of scouting lead there, obviously getting that Overlord scout in the right direction, is going to give you all the info you will ever need in the early game of ZVZ. He's like, okay, you went for the gas, you went for hatch first, I know exactly your timings, I know what I have to worry about and what I don't have to worry about. So he can very comfortably, drone up, delay his scouting lings as well. We only see them coming out now. And they could even be used to defend against Ragnarok scouting lings as well, because they can cause a little bit of a problem, especially in the natural with the drones before the queens come out.
Looks like he's going to try to go up the ramp first.
Ooh, and look at this. Baneling Nest. Going to go down for Dark to start things off. If you can eliminate these lings before they get down to the bottom ramp, deny that scout.
He's going to try.
Oh, he's going to see it.
Yeah. He saw it, but he didn't click.
He knows what it is. There's nothing else it would be. Don't worry, it's not going to be...
I'll leave it to you. I mean, you would know.
No, it would never be an evolution chamber in that position or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always going to be that Baneling Nest.
Okay.
And, Ragnarok's going to react to it accordingly. Throw down that Spine Crawler. Getting those extra queens out. He actually didn't commit to anything, to any Zergling speed, to Baneling Nest or anything like that. He's going to go simply gasless. Drone up hard, get the extra queens, and from there, go into Roach. So that's what they do.
You think this is going to be enough here from Ragnarok to hold off? He's going to try to make it wall, it seems.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be absolutely fine from here, as long as he doesn't lose these queens. If he loses the queens, he loses the game.
That's the thing. There's a ton of links coming across the map, and he does have those 2 queens, but...
Now, I only wonder, did this SimCity start just a little too late? Because these Banelings can actually detonate. Well, now they can't because he lost one. All right, he's going to be completely fine from here.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going to lose. No way he can die.
Yeah. And we see Dark transition right back into drones, but down that Evo chamber.
Yeah, he's going to simply go into Roach follow-up from here. And it's essentially even at this point in terms of economy. We obviously see even like layers are very even. So very nice from both players, very smart from Ragnarok to defend like that. And I think Ragnarok has a little bit of an edge because he does have those creep queens. It's going to help out. Spreading creep, getting a third base up. Already have creep queens there.
What do you think about the +1 to armor first from Ragnarok?
That is interesting.
That's not usually something you see, especially in Roach versus Roach.
Yeah. Now, this leads me to believe...
I mean, he is going for double upgrades, of course, with the double Evo, but why does he go for the armor first?
It's interesting that he went for armor first. I kind of feel like that's a little unusual. Perhaps he was worried about like +1 lings coming onto the map or something. I'm thinking about what else it could possibly be to go Carapace first. That might be it. Maybe, let me have a look here. He didn't actually see the Evo chamber, so he's kind of just went blind Carapace. Could have just been like... Just instinct to go like, I just press C instead of A first, so I go for my Carapace before my attack.
Maybe it's like a unique thing from Ragnarok. But
it's like his little quirky thing. It's like, I just like Carapace a little bit more. Got to be careful of a ling run by here. And he's going to go for that third base. A little bit behind Darks, but still.
Yeah. That's the thing that you do get with all these lings out on the map. A little bit more map control. Delay the expansions. Take your own a little bit ahead of your opponent. Small advantages like this do matter, especially in a mirror match.
Yeah, but at the same time, we also see that healthy drone lead from Ragnarok. At about 6 drones ahead, simply because he didn't have to invest in anything in the early game, like these Zerglings.
Yeah.
So more power to him.
It's essentially up to the guy who has the map control to try to come back, in that economic lead.
Yeah, and he can also use these lings if he keeps them all alive for Banelings later, because he's already got the Baneling tech. And that can be very efficient against massive clumps of Roaches, as well as Roach Hydra, even if more efficient against Roach Hydra. And look at all these upgrades, finishing it around the same time.
Dark moving out on the map with a bunch of his Roaches.
Yeah,
Lings following up behind.
Now, Dark does not have Carapace. He didn't go for Carapace, unfortunately, for him. So his Lings will also get 2-shot. And wow, Ragnarok confident enough to go into the map. We'll try and take down this overseer. You won't actually get it because it will be full HP when it finishes its morph. There we go. Sorry, you guys aren't even watching it, but I'm looking at it. And 8 drones already in the third base of Dark. So he actually has a pretty healthy economy lead at this point. Just down in supply, down in Roaches. And it looks like Ragnarok's going to try and even things up here. Almost had a good position.
This is that moment in ZVZ, especially when you're making the same unit. It's all about positioning, all about concaves.
Yeah, this is a bad concave for Ragnarok, but he's still going to try for it. And he's going to try and get out of here, but there are Lings behind as well, so he's going to have a bit of an unfavorable trade. Now he's going to commit to it. He is up one armor upgrade.
Yeah, maybe he's identified that and seen the roach count, and he's saying, oh, maybe I could do this. Queens are grouping up here for Dark, trying to do some extra damage, so they're really going to help out in the defense. Some more Lings pushing forward, too.
Yeah, and you traded pretty efficiently, and while he was doing this, he was droning up his third base. Up to 14 drones on it, actually. Ooh. So 7 lead on Dark. But Dark looks like he's going to go for a hard counter-attack from this.
Let's see what he can do. Bunch of Lings pushing forward. Looks like he's not going to commit too heavily to this. We did have 13 drones popping out here for Dark 2. Seems like he wants to fully saturate all 3 bases first. And now he's just going to back off.
Looks like just let it happen. Both sides will kind of stabilize. Ragnarok still remains ahead for the moment, though. But look how far ahead the +2 upgrade of Dark's is. It just got delayed by Contaminate, but it was, you know, moments away from finishing. Where where Ragnarok's only kind of just begun and only 45 seconds in. One thing to look out for, one thing that could make the biggest difference in Roach vs. Roach is +2 timings versus non-+2 upgrades.
Yep. Ragnarok trying to come around for another pass with these Overseers, keeping him in position. This one will get away. Looks like. Yeah, it should be fine. +2 about to finish up here for Dark. Let's see if he makes a move. He may want to wait for Burrow and Burrow movement. The Burrow and Burrow movement of Ragnarok is actually ahead, just slightly.
Yeah, both players kind of just waiting it out. Not really trying to make a move at all. And this will favor Ragnarok the more he waits, because obviously Dark does have that +2 already, but he's not making any good use of it whatsoever. He's simply just trying to catch up in supply still, I guess. He's also going to be going for a 4th base very, very quickly. Surprisingly, there's not really any Overlord in position for Ragnarok to identify this, which is kind of scary, but he is actually sending roaches towards that as a counterattack, while his main army kind of distracts the main army of Darks. He's going to get a cancel on that 4th.
Looks like it. 5 roaches getting into position, maybe just trying to come from the right side.
Ooh.
Looks like he may go for a little burrow movement here.
Look at that move.
Natural, actually.
That's actually huge. He's going to put everything out of position for Dark. And now Ragnarok.
And those roaches are going in the wrong direction. They're going into the main.
He's completely caught off guard in every direction. We are seeing the 3rd base also take a lot of drone damage. And now the 4th base is going to get cancelled.
Look at this concave for Ragnarok at the same time.
Absolutely insane. Ragnarok is so far ahead.
And
he
+2 finishes.
He's got that huge concave advantage. Dark should not be fighting in this position.
And at the same time, Dark just lost 22 drones to those Birdman and Roaches.
They're
only
apart.
now being dealt with.
He completely fell apart. And even if they stop being dealt with, they can simply just be burrowed at the same time, because there isn't really any detection at any of these bases.
One small move out of Ragnarok to pull Dark totally out of position may just win him this game.
I think it will. I don't think there's any coming back from this. He's lost simply too many drones. His economy is shattered at this point. It's just about Ragnarok finding the right concave, the right engagement to finish it.
Two roaches still remain in the natural even, and they're getting to work on that queen. Not looking good for the queen at this point in time.
Nearly found a good place. Got to be careful here. That is actually a huge amount of roaches for Dark. And this is a bad place for Ragnarok to be. Don't want to overjump in here. Don't get too nervous. What you're going to do is make the right choice. It's currently 72 drones from Dark. 75 now to the 59 of Ragnarok, because he did remax after losing all his drones.
You know, the thing about this is that Dark actually will have more army supply because he has less drones.
Exactly.
But he has nowhere near the bank of Ragnarok at this point.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Once the remax comes in for Ragnarok, he will be in a good place. But as for now, Dark actually does have more roaches.
Yeah, the thing is, Dark's always going to have more roaches until we do see Ragnarok, sack drones. And this is actually a horrible fight for Ragnarok. He's going to lose this very hands down.
Yeah.
I don't think Ragnarok actually realizes how maxed out Dark is and how much he committed to making roaches over drones.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It looks like he was just trying to force it. He was trying to force the fight. He felt like he was ahead, and like you said, a terrible fight.
Terrible fight into a concave, into the, such a Roach deficiency. And now we could even see checkmate from Dark. The reinforcements are coming in from Ragnarok, slowly but surely, but still not the most decent, good a fight. It's actually a horrible position for Ragnarok once again. This is such a blunder from Ragnarok,
Yep.
Not identifying.
One move will lose you the game, and that may just be the move that does it. Dark getting a pretty big advantage now. Huge concaves over Ragnarok. Ragnarok not looking like he's in a place to win this game.
No, not at all. He has certainly lost this game to this point with that folly of an attack. Not reading the bases, not looking at the drone counts on the third and the natural where he did do the drone damage. He had no idea that Dark simply made Roach even after taking economic damage.
Yeah. So Dark going to take game number 1 here against Ragnarok. And even after that one quote-unquote falling apart from Dark, where he looked like he was in a terrible position, he lost 22 drones and got so far behind in that, but Ragnarok just throwing him the game right back.
Yeah, all Ragnarok had to do from there is make spine crawlers and wait.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing Dark can do. He is maxed out on roaches with a crippled economy.
And this is
do
something you see out of less experienced players that just get antsy. They want to end the game. They want to move on. They feel like they're ahead. They can end it, but in that position, you just cannot. Like you're saying, you gotta be patient. You have to have that confidence that you are ahead and get ahead in different ways. Try to go into different techs and stuff. But
he just had to wait. He just had to defend. He should have kind of realized the deficiency he had in roaches, in the roach count, and be like, okay, I pull back from here. You can't make anything else. You got max roaches. You're gonna have to come to me. You're going to have a bigger army than me, but if I have static defense, if I invest in mass spore, make more roach cancel the spore, like that sort of trick, you kind of make up for that, and you do have that sick bank behind it. Big mistake from Ragnarok.
Those are one of the holes I'm talking about from this kid's play. He just needs a little bit more experience. I feel he is one match away from being knocked out here in the round of 32. Going up against Dark, he's going to have to win 2 in a row and then defeat Parting, who is waiting for either of these players in the final match. As if any of you guys have missed it, we actually did move out in first place. Parting did lose there in the winner's match, and he's waiting for both of these players to see which one will advance to that final match.
Yeah, that final match is going to be one hell of a match as well. Ragnarok going to have to start thinking a little bit smarter if he wants to try and beat the likes of Dark. I'm sure he's not going to let that happen again.
Looking a bit down on himself. Let's see if he can pull it back here. Dark versus Ragnarok in the losers match of the GSL Code S.
Oh, he is so tilted.
Incredibly tilted, but up in the top left in the red or Zerclair he is.
SK Telecom T1 Dark.
Barely winning that game. Making the right choices. And in the bottom right, we do have the player.
CJ&2's Ragnarok.
I guess Dark actually won the game pretty convincingly. It was simply Ragnarok making their own choice. They
Yep.
could have gone a completely different way. They made the right one.
Still looking tilted, kind of sighing to himself, and that's never a position you want to be in as a pro gamer.
No, he got really upset from that one. And I can understand why. He knew he was so far ahead, but he just didn't read the situation. That's a shame, but he's still a young gun. He's still trying to figure it all out. Still a bit inexperienced, as you were saying earlier.
Still learning.
Yeah.
How to roll with the big boys.
That's it. That's it, Valdez.
He's still shaking his head.
Yeah, that's like a loss that will haunt you for a while. You're like,
oh yeah.
You're like, oh man, why did I do that? Like I shouldn't have done that. I'm so silly. And looks like Dark gonna go for that 15 pool, 15 pool. Sorry, 15 gas. Gonna get pretty fast speedlings actually.
Where's Ragnarok just going with pretty normal hatchery timing? Gonna go straight into pool. No extra greedy drones here.
Yeah, we should see a very early speedling attack from Dark by the looks of things, like very quickly. It's kind of like the style that you It still looks like it's going to be a normal 15 pool, hatchery. It's like, you go, okay, he's just playing the safe game. He's afraid I'm going to 9 pool him. But secretly, Dark is making lings in the main. He's getting very quick Zergling speed. And he's just going to try and bum rush the natural of Ragnarok and try and checkmate him right then and there. And it could very well work if we see, Ragnarok go for the same sort of late SimCity at the front.
Yeah, definitely good. Let's see how it all pans out here. For now, just trying to get those queens out, get that economy going first.
As I say that, doesn't look like he's willing to save the spin. There we go. Finally. I was like, damn it, my whole strategy, I'm still thinking about like 3 years ago when all the Zergs used to do this crap. All right. Serving speed very quick on the map. So we'll give him that window. He has scattered with the overlay. He knows exactly the same builds going down for Ragnarok.
Goes for more drones still.
Yeah.
He could just make a big swell of Zerglings, close to the time when the speed is finishing up. Maybe just trying to boost that economy for now.
Yeah, look at this. He's making actually more drones for the gas. None for the natural so far. Maybe he's thinking of throwing down a Bailing Nest as well to help complement this attack. And now the link production begins. 1 so far. Or 1 pair so far.
2 lings popping in here for Ragnarok.
Now
One is going to be taken out.
This is important, Valdez. Oh! Oh, damn. Damnity damn, Valdez. This is a huge move because he didn't get to see the spawning pool. He didn't get to see the gas. All they saw was 2 queens wailing away.
Yeah. Doesn't really tell you much. I don't even think, based on the angle that the Zerglings came in,
doesn't tell you
that
anything.
he really got to see how many drones were even at the natural.
Yeah, look at the pooling lings. 8 more on the way. They have speed now. They're going to be running across the map. There's no spine crawler. There's no SimCity. There's only 3 queens and a lot of drones.
Oh boy. Tons of Zerglings pouring across the map. He's trying desperately to get up a SimCity right now.
Here we go. It's still weak though. He could actually DPS down that Roach War and go for the surround on the queens. Or he could simply just try and DPS down the queens.
I'm not sure if that's the right move. He's losing a lot of lings over there to the left, but at the same time, he is buying time for that right building to go down, but he's going to block it with another one.
Oh, it's going to have Broodling spawn as well, so this is going to make things even harder, but he gets a nice surround.
Really nice surround here. Now the drones are pulled.
Still, he could have enough to clean this up, actually. Nice little SimCity. He's going to lose a lot of drones for it. Oh, more and more lings are coming in, and he's not actually blocking up with these queens yet. He actually completely blocked in one of his queens.
Now, more and more lings pouring across the map. This isn't over yet. It looks like he finally did transfer into drones, transition.
Yeah, he has to for sure. And he's trying to make things work with these speedlings in the main base as well. Not really getting a look of it just now. There's no way this base gets broken into now. Not with the Spine Crawler, 2 queens that have transfuses. It's completely blocked off, and Ragnarok has stabilized. And it's about Ragnarok trying to take advantage of this from here, even if he can. Because these speedlings are still doing drone damage.
Yeah, they're trying to get one. They do get one. All you could hope for in that situation. Now, once again, Dark in a very similar situation. He's got map control with a lot of speedlings.
Yeah.
But Ragnarok just barely, well, he was ahead in drones, but at this point, I feel like Dark turned out a little bit better in this game compared to the last one. He
absolutely did. 35 drones to 32 currently. Map control. It's just
much
about
faster third base, too.
Much faster third base. But he has to transition now. Obviously, get Roach Warren, get Evolution Chamber, get that +1 going, and obviously that Lair on the way. Though it can be a little bit later than Ragnarok, so he just simply is going to have the number advantage. But look at this. We are seeing the debris at the back. Get DPS down. So maybe...
Is he going to try to sneak out the back away from the Overlords?
He could very well do, and this would really surprise Dark considering where the Overlords are of his. He's not really making much... Not really making many roaches at this point, though, so I wonder if he actually will try for anything. Maybe he'll send the Slowlings up there and try and cancel the third, or maybe just go for a third of his own. Looks like he will go for the third of his own.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at Dark's base, he did save up a lot of supply and larvae for 10, 11 roaches now. They're going to be popping out.
All right, so he's simply just going to follow up with Mass Ling Roachol in. An interesting way to go about it. But it could do a lot of work. All right, he's going to be so far ahead with Army. He's already got a pretty decent supply lead. And with his third base pretty exposed, though granted it hasn't been scouted yet, he could crush it pretty easily.
Yep. Lings poke at the front once again. They don't get much information.
Look at the Slowlings coming around to the third base. There are some roaches in the natural there that will help deal with it.
Yeah. He's going to try to go for the queen, but no way that's going down. Going to try to get some drones here, I guess, but not going to be able to get much.
There we go. You can go like one drone at the end of all that. Now, Mass Speedling's going to be finding that third base, be like, oh, this is what you got. This is how many roaches you got. Huh. Luckily for him, though, he has been making nothing but roachling for this time. So he should have an overwhelming amount to crush this and transition behind it. It's going to be 1-1 roaches, though, in just a moment's time. About 30 seconds away from Ragnarok getting that +1 carapace. And that is so many Lings.
And so many follow-up Lings, too, coming from the back, streaming across the map at the same time. And even more roaches here for Dark, and he gets a really nice surround with those Lings. And I think he's just going to be able to clean it up.
Yeah, I think so. There's simply nothing Ragnarok can do. Good timing right before the carapace finishes, so the Lings can do a lot of work on these roaches as well.
Yeah. And just more and more Lings stream across the map. And no mining at your third. All of your army units going down. And unfortunately, our little donger Ragnarok going to get O2'd and O2'd in this crazy group. Dark will move on to that final match against Parting.
Very convincing victory for Dark in that second game. He knew exactly what he had to do. Ragnarok playing the same style. Dark takes advantage of it. Unfortunate for Ragnarok, you know, he had that first game. He played it just a little bit different, I think.
He had it in his hands. He had that opportunity to go to the final match, possibly. But like you said, after throwing that first one, the second one, he was looking so tilted. It's incredibly hard for any kind of underdog to come back when you're also tilted down 0-1.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally the worst position to be in for Ragnarok.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He seems like one of those players now that we've seen him, you know, how he deals with the best of 3. He does really mentally break down.
Yep.
It's like similar to like Rogue sort of breakdown, where he does visibly look upset beyond belief. Like, I can't believe that
Marine
happened.
King, also another one of those guys who gets very emotional after a bunch of losses.
That's right.
Early on in the sets.
It's a bit of a shame, but you know, he is still very young. Still kind of a new player. Kind of, not really actually. He's been around for ages, but he's just...
Well, he's like a newly sprouting flower. Like, he's making it into these bigger teams, like becoming bigger and bigger.
He's a Kesper flower now. Before he was like a random team flower.
Yeah.
You know, he's the real stuff.
Pretty much. Guys, we're going to go into Parting versus Dark after another 5-minute break. The final match of the night. Stay tuned.